Hello and welcome to another episode of Fire Emblem Lonk War. Sigh. Anyway, in this episode we will move on to Chapter 4, or Chapter 3, my fault, I forgot the prologue doesn't count as a chapter. Most of what you see in-game or on video will be how I prepare, etc, etc. I'll try to speed through it as much as possible since nobody likes watching this, I'm sure. But I just want to, sometimes I just think it's better just to show people what I do before battles, just to give them an idea of how I think, or give them something to comment on, because, you know, I'm a complete idiot or something. Nice feast right there. Garcia is green, so I guess Link is green, etc, etc. Who was attacked, and how do we know that? We just know she went to the bandit. Oh, the bandits in the area are vile. I hope you guys can read, because that was pretty obvious. I don't know about you, but bandits do seem to be pretty vile. I wouldn't know, my experience with bandits is pretty low. Maybe someone out there more knowledgeable can tell me why bandits would be pretty vile. Oh well. Zelda is probably quite angry at me. This is the problem with giving Link a personality. Oh look, it's an Ocarina of Time reference. Oh boy, the excitement. The wonderfulness of knowing that the person who made this probably only played Ocarina of Time. Sigh. You had us searching all over for you. Well, he told you where he was fucking going. I mean, think about it for a second, woman. Triforce of Wisdom, my ass. Oh. Anyway, Hero Boy, nickname, Malon, Talon, ha, where's Ross? Yeah, this is supposed to be the humor. People almost dying, children almost dying is humor. Trust me, that is extraordinarily hilarious in any situation. I just love watching children dying and laughing at miscarrying parents who fail to keep them alive. Herp-a-darp-a-darp-barp. Bandits attacked the ranch. Nobody really cared. At the end of the day, all we know is that that fucking Indigo is now dead. Yes. No Gorman Brothers for you, asshole. By the way, if you haven't figured it out with that line, Malon is supposed to be our archer. And yes, she's balls to the wall, useless. I remember seeing her stat growth once, and it was just absolutely... ugh. Of course, my memory on that stat growth page is fuzzy. All I know is that Link just gets some mad stat growth after he becomes promoted. Before that, he's pretty shit. In fact, this chapter and all the level ups he gets is gonna prove he's pretty shit. In fact, all the level ups I get in this chapter are really mediocre. Like I said, I'm scared about my units being slow and weak. If that happens, then late game I'm basically boned and, well, yeah. If any of you remember Sacreds from the first game, or not Sacreds, but the upgraded version of the zombies, in Tombs, that's what it was. They've been changed to Gyptos here and been buffed to all fucking hell. So they're doing 22s while you're only able to do 7s on them, and it's ridiculous. The only way to kill them is with magic, and since you don't get a very awesome magic user, at least one who can hold her own or his own against such things till very later on, it becomes such a pain in the fucking ass to try and stay alive with these assholes. Anyway, welcome to Ross is going to get to level 10 before the end of this chapter. The reason why I'm doing this is because Ross right now is absolutely useless to me, and I'd rather give you guys a chance to actually get some decision in right now, because I won't be able to let you guys select characters for a while. For you see, at the end of this chapter, Ross does indeed reach level 10, and if you don't know what that means he advances and is able to promote into another job. Now, even though I said I wasn't going to do arena grinding, what I did here is boss grinding. I know some of you are familiar with that tactic, and I made an exception for trainees for a few reasons. One, in this hack they only get 30 levels. They don't get the normal amount of levels they would in FE8. So basically Ross gets screwed over pretty early. Secondly, Ross is useless as he is right now. I need another quote-unquote power unit to be able to... Hi, Calm. Are you Calm? I think you're Calm. I never ever bother to remember your name. But he is a pretty decent unit in this game. I think the person who made that also pretty much slicks off to Calm. So we'll have to see how that turns out this game. By the way, he's the only person he got speed in this in any of the level ups. Herp-a-derp-a-derp. No, actually didn't. Someone got speed. He wasn't him though. Ugh. Bad. This is essentially bad level ups the chapter. Aside from that, this chapter was actually one of the more I don't want to say difficult ones because it's not really difficult. I just had a really bad spree of bad luck, like missing 98% chances to hit while the enemy hits 22s and other bullshit like that. Basically RNG screwed, if nobody know, or if you guys know what that means. Basically I was fucked over by random numbers instead of any semi-balance of lack of skill on my end. Just a series of bad luck over and over again, essentially. Another case of brilliant dialogue from the creator, Blue Leafeon here. Then join us. You have to do everything Hero Boy says. Yeah, that's how Malin sounds, by the way, in my head. Totally. Anyway, that's recruiting. Believe it or not, if you didn't know from the previous chapter where we recruited Ross and Talon, then... pardon me. Then what happens is that this really kick-ass music plays while you talk to somebody or complete an objective to be able to spawn somebody, and you're able to get them on your team if you're quick enough, or, you know, if you're not mentally retarded. That's generally the latter case, but, you know, whatever floats your boat. Even though this is redundant by this point, I still think the animations in this game are just really great. I always loved the animations in the Game Boy Advance Fire Emblems. They're so much better than the DS Fire Emblem animations. Then again, I've only played Shadow Dragon. I think that's the only DS game out so far that is part of the Fire Emblem series. I just don't know what it is about the Game Boy Advance animations. I just think they're better than the GameCube, Wii, and DS animations by just tenfolds, just about how they look. Then again, I'm a little bit of a sucker for 2D. 2D has always been something I've enjoyed immensely, and just seeing something so well put together is awe-inspiring. It's sort of like that feeling if any of you have ever played Symphony of the Night and just see how well Alucard moves. Oh yeah, that's orgasmic to me. I love 2D sprites. Early on case of the RNG screwing with me early in this battle, with the bandit getting a 36% chance to hit. Basically Calm will be completely screwed if it wasn't for my ability to risk it all and bring more to the table. No. I just find that the RNG in this game is just horrendous with wanting to piss you off. Because the majority of the times when I reset in a Fire Emblem game, it's only because RNG fucking me over. That's really it the majority of the time. I'm missing 90s and the enemy hits for 20s. Then again, I'm pretty sure the accuracy system itself is only there to comfort me. In fact, I just imagine it's some random hobo in the sky telling what's going to hit and what's not going to hit. Then again, I suppose it's a lot better than the Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2 RNG system, which determines at the beginning of the battle how many are going to hit and how many are going to miss, and then bases on that, where your percentage extremely means nothing. Also, if you're wondering what I was doing over there, I was hoping to get lucky with a better level up than I previously got, because I don't... Ross needs good level ups, alright? With only being limited to 30 level ups his whole career, he needs good level ups, and, well, if you watch the video, you're gonna see he doesn't really get a lot. So, it's essential that I try to do whatever I can to influence his level ups to actually mean something instead of just being left behind in the dust like he probably will be at this point. So I hope the idea of leveling up Ross early through boss abuse, which, by the way, if you're wondering, I will not show. It's not going to be in this video. I'll show you the first few turns and a few last turns, but it's about 15 minutes of me just replacing Ross and then putting him back in to level him up to level 10. Aside from that, it's extraordinarily uninteresting, and, well, why would I show something that isn't entertaining? You know, that's sort of what I'm trying to do here, make you at least enjoy yourself a little bit, even if how terrible I am at it. Anyway, I made sure to take out this thief right here, because if you don't take out this thief, he can really screw you over later. I remember I had a really bad run that ended with the thief stealing a lockpick, and then somehow I managed to... I attacked him thinking that I would get the lockpick back and lose again, and I was like, nope. Colm is useless without his lockpick. I have to have his lockpick to get through some of the later chapters, just to get the treasures inside of them. And that alone will be massive amounts of help. Because if you don't know, thieves are the only class that can unlock doors and chests, you know, they're thieves, quote unquote. So what you're seeing here is actually the majority of the chapter. After this, I'm going to... after you get rid of these guys right here, which will be in the next, let's see, 4 minutes here or so, 15-minute time limit, whatever, or at least until the the beginning of the next video, we'll be just finishing up the rest of this chapter. Which, after you take care of the magic goes up herpaderp, after you take care of the majority of the units that are troublesome, like the thief, and just your luck going right, you know, the chapter isn't difficult at all. Like I said, really the biggest thing that goes wrong in this chapter is just really bad cases of luck. Aside from that, it's extraordinarily doable with no massive problems to it. At least none that I can see off the top of my head, since the sprite swap of the third chapter of 3X or third chapter of FE8. So there's really nothing to it. Most of this is pretty much a vanilla hack with a really bad story attached to this and one level change, which makes it... It's a terrible level because of what she did. Makes it almost unbearable to play. I'm having goosebumps thinking about it because I remember how bad this level was. And it's complete bullshit because I'll hold off from that until we get to that level, you know. Anyway, let's focus on what's happening right now. Zelda is extraordinarily unlucky. Okay. Good. I'm trying to remember if there's any more close calls in this battle. I know Zelda gets into critical condition, but it's certainly nothing to throw a party about or certainly worry about that much. No other enemy here really is a threat. They're either blocked out by the barrels, which if you didn't notice earlier, only flying units can go over. And they can't get to anybody, basically, who isn't standing in that 4x4, or at least the enemy on the Axeman on the right over there. The archer is weak, so he can't do anything, you know. He's absolutely dead if somebody gets to him. Well, at least he's going to be close to dead soon. I believe I take him out next turn, among other things. Making Zelda away, because, you know, it's obviously a lot better to let the enemy stay there and snipe my... healer, or not healer, my main character, which could lead to my potential doom. I are good at strategy game, Ross, you magnificent little man, you are going to be something big one day. Not today, though. Soon, though. Soon. I've actually gotten a lot of requests to actually keep Impa, which I was really surprised about because of she's a Jagan. I mean, she might be Seth in a different amount of clothes, but she's still a Jagan, you know. And I don't know. I've never really this is gonna end. No, I already know how it ends. Blah. Mind break. Aside from that, this is actually gonna be a really... Oh, we're about to reach the end of part 1. I'll finish that statement when we get to the next chapter. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this part. I'll see you guys very soon.